Listen up right now. As you watch this, there's a war happening inside your head, and you're losing. Every single day, you wake up with dreams, with goals, with that burning desire to become something more. But by the time your head hits the pillow, what do you have to show for it? Another day of excuses, another day of tomorrow, another day of watching your potential rot away while you scroll through other people's success stories. Your mind is sabotaging you. It's not some accident, it's not bad luck, it's biology. Your brain is hardwired to keep you exactly where you are, safe, comfortable, mediocre. And every time you try to break free, every time you try to level up, your own thoughts become your prison guards. But here's what they don't tell you. Here's the truth that separates the champions from the complainers. You can reprogram this machine. You can turn your greatest enemy into your most powerful weapon. Today, we end the civil war in your head. Today, you learn to make your mind your servant, not your master. The first thing you need to understand is this: your brain is a survival machine, not a success machine. It was built thousands of years ago when danger lurked behind every tree, when comfort meant another day alive. Back then, playing it safe kept you breathing. But in today's world, playing it safe kills your dreams slowly, quietly, without you even noticing. Every morning when that alarm goes off, your brain starts its assault. Stay in bed, it whispers. 5 more minutes won't hurt. You worked hard? Yesterday, you deserve rest. And you listen. You hit snooze. You choose the warm covers over the cold reality that champions are already moving while you're still negotiating with yourself about getting up. When you think about hitting the gym, your brain floods you with resistance. You're tired, it says. You don't have time. You can start next week. What's one more day? And you listen. You choose the couch over the iron. You choose comfort over character. You choose easy over exceptional when that business idea pops into your head, when that creative project calls to you, when that opportunity presents itself. What does your brain do? It shows you every possible way you could fail. It reminds you of every time you've quit before. It paints vivid pictures of embarrassment, rejection, failure. And you listen. You choose fear over faith. You choose doubt over determination. You choose the known over the unknown. This is why most people live lives of quiet desperation. They're not bad people. They're not lazy people. They're people who lost the war in their own heads before they even knew a battle was happening. They became prisoners of their own thoughts, slaves to their own comfort zones. But you're different. You're here. You're listening. You're ready to fight back. And the first weapon in your arsenal is understanding that discomfort is not your enemy. Discomfort is your compass pointing toward growth. Every time you feel resistance, every time your brain screams no, that's exactly where you need to go. Most people run from pain. They spend their entire lives building elaborate systems to avoid discomfort. They choose jobs that don't challenge them. They choose relationships that don't push them. They choose routines that don't stretch them. And then they wonder why they feel empty, why they feel stuck, why they feel like they're living someone else's life. But pain is not the problem. Pain is the solution. Pain is the price of admission to the life you actually want. Physical pain builds muscle. Emotional pain builds character. Mental pain builds resilience. The only people who avoid pain are the people who avoid growth. And the people who avoid growth avoid living. So here's your new operating system. When your brain says this is hard, you say good. When your brain says this is uncomfortable, you say perfect. When your brain says you don't want to do this, you say that's exactly why I must. You stop running from resistance and start running toward it. The next thing you need to master is the power of immediate action. Hesitation is the assassin of achievement. Every second you wait, every moment you pause to think about it, your brain is building a case against action. It's gathering evidence for why you should quit before you start. It's recruiting your fears to talk you out of your dreams. That's why successful people have one thing in common. They collapse the gap between idea and action. They don't wait to feel ready. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They don't wait for motivation to strike like lightning. They act first and figure it out later. When you have an idea, you have a window. A brief moment when your brain hasn't fully mobilized its defenses yet. That window is measured in seconds, not minutes. If you don't act immediately, if you give yourself time to think about it, you're giving your brain time to kill it. So here's your new rule. When you know you should do something, when you know it's the right move, when you know it will push you forward, you count 3, 2, 1, and you move. No negotiation. No internal debate. No weighing pros and cons. Count and move. Count and dial the number. Count and send the email. Count and get out of bed. Count and start the workout. Count and have the difficult conversation, because action creates momentum and momentum creates results. 1 push-up leads to 10. 1 page of writing leads to a chapter. 1 phone call leads to an opportunity. But 0 leads to 0, every single. This is about building a new identity. Most people think change happens from the outside in. They think if they just have the right circumstances, the right resources, the right timing, then they could become the person they want to be. But that's backwards. Champions know that change happens from the inside out. You don't become disciplined by having discipline. You become disciplined by acting disciplined, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. Every action is a vote for the type of person you want to become. Every time you choose the hard thing over the easy thing, you're voting for strength over weakness. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you're voting for integrity over convenience. Every time you push through when you want to quit, you're voting for resilience over fragility. Your brain is keeping score. Every vote counts. Every choice matters. Every decision is either building the person you want to become or reinforcing the person you've been. There's no neutral. There's no maintenance mode. You're either growing or dying, moving forward or sliding backward. And here's what happens when you consistently choose growth over comfort. Your brain starts to adapt. It realizes that you're not going to back down. It stops wasting energy trying to convince you to quit and starts helping you succeed. Your comfort zone expands. Your confidence grows. Your capabilities multiply. But this transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens one choice at a time, one day at a time, one challenge at a time. It's not about massive changes. It's about micro improvements compounded over time. It's about being 1% better today than you were yesterday. The people who fail at this game are the ones who try to change everything at once. They decide they're going to wake up at 5 a.m., work out for 2 hours, read for an hour, meditate for 30 minutes, eat perfectly, work 10 hours, and go to bed by 9. And when they can't sustain that superhuman schedule, they quit completely and go back to their old patterns. But the people who win at this game know that small changes create big results. They start with one thing, one habit, one choice. They master that before moving to the next. They build momentum gradually, systematically, relentlessly. Maybe it's making your bed every morning. Maybe it's doing 10 push-ups before your shower. Maybe it's reading 1 page before bed. Maybe it's writing 1 sentence in a journal. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that you do it every single day, no matter how you feel, no matter what's happening in your life. Because here's the secret that separates professionals from amateurs. Professionals show up regardless of how they feel. Amateurs show up when they feel like it. Professionals do the work when they're inspired and when they're not. Amateurs only work when the mood strikes them. Professionals understand that motivation is unreliable, but systems are bulletproof. Your feelings are not facts. Your emotions are not instructions. Your thoughts are not commands. They're just weather patterns in your mental sky. They come and go. But your character, your integrity, your commitment, that's permanent. That's who you are when the feelings fade and the emotions pass dot. So you build systems that work regardless of your internal state. You create routines that run on autopilot. You establish non-negotiables that happen whether you feel like it or not. You remove the decision-making from the equation because decision-making is where most people fail. When you wake up in the morning, You don't ask yourself if you feel like brushing your teeth. You just do it. It's automatic. It's non-negotiable. That's how you need to approach every important habit in your life. Make it so automatic that skipping it feels strange, uncomfortable. Wrong dot, and here's what happens when you master this level of self-discipline. You develop what I call selective callousness. You become selectively deaf to the voice in your head that wants you to quit. You become selectively blind to the excuses that used to stop you. You become selectively numb to the discomfort that used to derail you, but you remain fully alive to opportunity. You remain sensitive to growth. You remain responsive to possibility. You don't become numb to life. You become immune to the things that used to hold you back. This is mental toughness. Not the ability to avoid pain, but the ability to function optimally in spite of pain. Not the absence of fear, but action in the presence of fear. Not the elimination of doubt, but progress despite doubt. And when you reach this level, when you've trained your brain to be your ally instead of your enemy, something magical happens. The hard things become easy. The impossible becomes inevitable. The life you dreamed about becomes the life you live. But it all starts with a choice. The choice to stop negotiating with weakness. The choice to stop making deals with mediocrity. The choice to stop being a victim of your own thoughts. Right here, right now, you can decide that the old version of you, the one who gave up when things got hard, the one who chose comfort over growth, the one who let fear make the decisions, that version dies today. From this moment forward. You are someone who does hard things. You are someone who keeps promises to themselves. You are someone who shows up when they don't feel like it. You are someone who finds a way when there seems to be no way. You are someone who refuses to let their mind talk them out of their dreams. Your brain has been running the show long enough. It's time for you to take back control. It's time for you to become the director of your own life, the author of your own story, the architect of your own destiny. The war in your head is over. And you just now stop watching and start doing. Because knowing without doing is just intellectual entertainment, won't change your life. Only action will. Only you will. Only now will the question isn't whether you can do this. The question is whether you will do this. And that question can only be answered by one person, you. So what's it going to be? Another day of excuses or day one of your new life? The choice is yours. Choose wisely. Choose now. Choose to win.